back, cellists! In today's lesson, we're going to talk all about playing Arco, using the bow to bow our open strings. Make sure that you watched lesson 3, where we talked all about a proper bow hold. It's very important. First things first, let's go ahead and tighten our bow. Find the tensioning screw at the bottom of your bow, and you want to turn it clockwise. Here it is facing you. We're going to turn this way. Another thing you can do is you can also hold the screw and turn the bow clockwise. That also tightens. We want to tighten it until your bow looks like this. Notice that there is still a downward arc in our bow, and there's a little space between the stick and the hair. If your bow is straight across or arcing this way, you've gone too far. Loosen that bow by turning counterclockwise. Now that you have a tight bow, let's go ahead and set up our bow hold. Relax those fingers, arch over, middle finger on the ferrule, other fingers flop, thumb curves and touches the top lip of the frog. There's our bow hold. Go ahead and turn your bow into rocket ship position. Show me a down bow, show me an up bow. Find yourself in train position, show me a down bow, and show me an up bow. Go ahead and place your bow on your lap and pick up your cello. Always holding from the neck and the C-bout. Pick your bow back up, set up that nice bow hold, and I want you to look at your bow, look at the stick length. With your nice bow hold, go ahead and find yourself in train position again. Look at your stick of your bow, and I want you to divide it up into 5 points. We have a point here, a point here, a point here, a point here, and a point here. These are what we call bow regions. This region down here is what we call the frog. This region is the balance point. This region is the middle, this is the upper half, and this is the tip. What I want you to do is at the middle of the bow, I want you to rest the hair on the D string like this. Make sure that the hair is lying flat, that you're not turned this way or this way, playing with a flat hair. Aim to have your bow exactly between the bridge and the fingerboard. Not too close to the bridge or too close to the fingerboard. When the bow is resting in the middle between these 2 points, we get the best tone possible. Now, before we even move anywhere, what I want to do is navigate between the D string and the A string. What we want to do is raise our elbow, and that moves us over to the A string. Now drop your elbow, and that'll return us back to the D string. Let's drop our elbow again, and now we're on the G string, and we drop it one more time, and we're on the C string. Find the A string. Find the G string, find the D string, and find the C string. Now, at the middle of your bow, I want you to find the D string. Make sure your elbow height is at the correct height for the D string. Now, when we bow, down bow or up bow, we want to make sure that our bow stays parallel to the bridge and the end of the fingerboard. We want to make sure we're moving directly across, that we're not going diagonally, and we're staying nice and horizontal. The way we achieve that is that we have to make sure that our wrist is working for us, that when we're closer to the frog, we have that mountain, and as we move closer to the tip, we create that valley. We have that jellyfish motion here. At the middle, we should have pretty much a flat wrist, a plane if you will. And we were going to bow a down bow. So we're going to go to your right and we're going to bow a down bow. Go ahead and pull closer towards the tip like this, just using arm weight. If you're not pushing hard enough, you might get a sound like this. Or if you're using way too much weight, you might get a sound like this. We want to use a medium amount of weight and a medium speed to achieve this sound. Take a moment and experiment with weight and speed. See if you can get a nice clean sound. On the same string, the D string, move your bow from the middle to the balance point. The balance point's about halfway between the middle and the frog. We're going to bow a nice down bow. When you're at the balance point, we have a little mountain in our wrist. We're going to bow a down bow, again this way, all the way to the tip. We're going to go from a mountain all the way to a valley. Notice my bow stays straight and parallel with the bridge. If we go a little crooked like this, we'll get a sound like this. Or if we start straight and it gets crooked again, look what our bow does. Kind of tilts down. So make sure that the access point of the hair to the string stays straight. Let's practice some up bows. At the middle of your bow, rest the bow on the D string. And we're going to go up bow, which is that way. So I want you to push towards the frog, keeping the bow parallel to the bridge and the fingerboard like this. you may notice that as you get closer to the frog, the weight increases. So it gets a little louder. We want to make sure that we don't go too heavy, otherwise we'll get that crunchy sound. So as you get closer to the frog, you may need to float the bow a little bit. The opposite is true of that down bow, as we get closer to the tip, it could get quieter, so we may need to add some weight. Move your bow from the middle to the upper half and rest your bow on the D string. Notice my wrist has a slight valley to it right now. I'm going to push all the way up bow to my frog, and I'm going to go from the valley to the mountain. Let's go back and forth between down bow and up bow. The bow regions that we're going to use, we're going to start at the balance point and bow a down bow all the way to the upper half. And then we're going to freeze, and we're going to bow an up bow from the upper half all the way back down to the balance point. So down bow first. Here we go. Up bow. Down bow. Up bow. Now resting at the balance point on the D string, raise your elbow, so now we're resting on the A string. Let's do the same exercise. Down bow from the balance point to the upper half, freeze, and then up bow from the upper half back down to the balance point. Here we go. Besides bow direction, down bow and up bow, we can control the sound that we create by adding weight, subtracting weight, or speeding up or slowing down. A general rule is heavier the bow, the faster the bow. The lighter the bow, the slower the bow. Say I wanted to play a really loud sound. If I wanted to play a really loud sound, I would use a lot of weight and a lot of speed, and I'd get this. If I wanted to play a very soft sound, I would use less weight and I'd slow my bow down like this. In the next lesson, we have a special treat for you cellist. We have my good friend Mike Jauregui helping you learn how to read notes in the bass clef.